So, rebonjour, another my good evening, dear colleagues. We are here in a very intimate group, and I'm very honored that Hélène Hagège is here from the University of Limoges and joining us at Eyamba Exchange, with thanks to AFM and especially Eugenio Correnti, who connected us. So thank you for that. This is also an invitation to all of you that if you in your association find interesting speakers that you would like to share with the other colleagues who are connected in EAMBA associations, the 33 that we have at this moment, in Europe, in Africa, in the Middle East, and in the US, then you're most welcome to connect with us at EAMBA. Especially exchange alcolad.eyamba.net and tell us that you would like these speakers to be here. For those of you who are here for the first time, Eyamba is a collective of 33 teacher associations who in their local territory connect mindfulness and compassion teachers. Eyamba is the umbrella connecting those associations. And the main things is that we support each other, we connect, we learn from each other, we help each other. And this is all based on generosity and humility. Generosity to ensure that what we have learned, we share freely without any commercial strings attached. And humility, sharing also that we don't know it all and that we are happy to learn from each other and to update our own knowledge, and liking that we can share in the experience of others. So tonight we are honored with your presence, Hélène. You're a professor at the University of Limoges. You've created a new program, a meditation ethics-based, right? Ethics-based meditation. I always have to remind myself that the M is not mindfulness, but meditation. And you will later explain to us why you chose that. I'm very curious to hear that again, although you already explained it to us. You are mainly a researcher and a lecturer, so you have a lot of contact with students, transferring your knowledge, transferring your experience, and also stimulating research, which has always proved over decades is very convincing when people want or do not want to go and have their own meditation practice. For details about your development and how you came to this place, I will hand over to you. So please open your microphone and I will close mine. Thank you very much for being here.
So thank you very much, Katharina, for this introduction. First of all, I'm very honored to share this approach with this community. And I would like to thank and to express my gratitude towards Eugenio Correnti, as you stated, that connected us together, and Katharina, Hélène, and Teresa Ranieri, who put a lot of beautiful energy in organizing this event, and I felt very warmly welcomed. So thank you, everyone, and you for being there tonight and learning a bit about this approach. So this approach. Oh, I lost my. Where are my slides? Okay. I think this is okay. You please tell me if you see it. Okay. Thank you. So the program I created is I've named it meditation-based ethics of responsibility, and I wanted to underline in this presentation the reason why we meditate. So reason in terms of motivation, in terms of purpose. What do we expect as an outcome from meditation? So, sorry. Okay, sorry. I have a problem with my. So I will first just briefly complete the introduction you made. So I first graduated in molecular biology with a PhD. And I learned meditation in various contexts since 2008. And I do research on education for responsibility through meditation. This is my specificity, the topics on which I focus my research. Also, as a lecturer, I am specialized in adult training. I am responsible for a Master's 2 degree that is followable remotely and in which I teach the MBER program as the ethics part, professional ethics part of the master degree. And I have taught this program over 13 years, mainly at the university to over 500 students. So now I have a position of a full professor at the University of Limoges and in the training and education faculty and in a research laboratory of semiotics, the CIRES. So first of all, I would like to place this program among the landscape of mindfulness-based programs. As you probably know, this adventure started with the MBSR program more than 45 years ago. So this stress reduction program created by John Kabat-Zinn was a kind of revolution because it extracted practice that were far from the West, that were mostly Eastern, that were religious, that were not easy accessible. And he saved a secular part to make this available to many people, and most particularly physically suffering people, among others. And it has been followed by the other developments, such as the MBCT program and many other MBPs. So this movement, this big global wave, allowed two major and very important things, which were the enhancements of the accessibility of this practice, and also the standardization of the teaching. In that way, the standardization allowed to develop scientific protocols and to study the impact of short-term meditation, mindfulness-based meditation learning. So this is a huge change, which is global. And with this development, it raised some issues and some ethical issues. I will develop this here. One of these is the instrumentalization, what has been called Mac mindfulness in the literature, which means that some people, some institutions used mindfulness for their own purposes. like to improve sniper shootings in the army, to improve the worker productivity in the enterprise, even if it might be at the expense of the worker health, for instance. Also, there are to date very few studies about the ethical impact of MBPs. The majority of them, in fact, rather study the moral impacts, so things which are very normed on the behavioral point of view. And the few studies that are available to date show contrasted effects, like sometimes on some variables, the MBPs seem to enhance morality or ethical variables. Sometimes they seem to decrease them. And also, it has been noticed that the results, the impact depends on the initial disposition of the learners, of the participants. For instance, some participants who had an initial quite low empathy score ended with a lower empathy score, whereas the other half with a high empathy score at the beginning ended with a higher empathy score, as if practicing mindfulness would somehow enhance initial tendencies, initial predispositions, as if it would act as a magnifying glass of tendencies we have in the mind. So from this, there have been debates on the scientific literature about, is ethics embedded in mindfulness practice per se, or should we add an explicit content? My analysis of the situation is that the pioneer promoters of this approach were very careful to secularize the approach, which was very important. So at the origin, the ethics that was linked with mindfulness was the Buddhist ethics. So they removed this part. And it seems that meditation only, without an ethical behavior, will not be sufficient to develop ethics if it's not already there. The idea is that we can now add secular Western ethics that is not of Buddhist origin to such programs in order to cultivate such ethical inclination. Because to date, the majority, not the totality, but the majority of MBPs seem to be explicitly oriented towards some personal health issues, such as stress reduction, for instance. So there is not always an explicit ethical purpose. And the hypothesis, to date, it's an hypothesis on the scientific point of view, is that to favor an ethical global impact on participants, the ethical purpose and the ethical pedagogical methods must be explicit and must be dedicated to this. That's in this line of thoughts that I created this program. So some researchers talk about second generation MBP for these MBPs which have an explicit ethical aim. And to me, they are a step of maturation of this global wave of spreading of MBPs on Earth, and they appear to be complementary to what is called this first generation MBPs. So the MBER program can be addressed to beginners or more experienced advanced practitioners. To construct it, I based myself on a mixed of MBSR and MBCT program, a mix that a colleague of mine did. So both programs are mainly dedicated to develop emotional and attentional competencies, which can appear as the pedagogical objective. So they contain these basics. That's why it's also suitable for beginners. And I added some ethical dimension. I will give you 2 examples later about about to practice. So roughly, it's about caring for self, others, and the non-human environment, all 3 together. And we work on the notion and the attitude of non-duality as a perspective. So there are some exercises that are dedicated to cultivate wisdom. It's a 25 hours program made of 6 sessions of 3 hours and 1 day of silent outdoor practice. And the theoretical reference about ethic comes from and the exercises comes from humanistic psychology, cognitive sciences, and philosophy, among which ethical academic knowledge. There are some precautions I take before the program, like a health questionnaire, some risk information. This part is really important to me because the program is quite can destabilize some exercises more than others. So I pay attention so that the participants feel free to adhere to what is proposed or not, to try the exercise or not, to disengage when they want, and to listen to themselves and what they feel about this. Okay, and there are some documents I give. So the themes of the 7 sessions are ethics, values, and attention. In this first session, we talk about the automatic pilot, notably. Then stress reduction and the feelings of guilt. Then the third session is about non-duality and what are our dual functionings and mental judgment. I will give an example about this just after. Thoughts and language, and how the language we use to think is culturally biased. Sorry for my accent. The fifth one is about empathy and relatedness, and it's also there is a topic we learn about emotional integration. And the last one about creativity, authenticity, joy, and alignment. And finally, the silent day is about gratitude, interdependence, and connection to nature. So the pedagogical objectives are to develop these 5 types of skills, of competencies, which, given my work, are the 5 core competencies of responsibility, the attentional and emotional ones that we find in the majority of MBPs. And I put a stronger accent on epistemic skills with this reflection on language, and also axiological competencies, which is linked to values and the direction, the orientation in our lives and the direction we want to go to. And this alignment alignment, sorry, with our values. The theoretical principle of the program is described in a book, which was written in French and translated in English. And the principle to train, to teach the program is also described in another book. And it was also originally written in France. So if you wish, there is no obligation. You can try a very short practice, which is part of this program and with which I start all sessions in order to cultivate our ethical intention. I propose to start the sessions with a wish. So it's meditation based. Sorry, I will come back to what Katharina introduced to explain why it's meditation-based ethics of responsibility and not mindfulness-based ethics of responsibility. It's precisely because in the last scientific categorization of meditations, Dahl and colleagues identified 4 thoughts of meditations. Awareness-based, which are the one we find typically in MBSR program. Purpose-based, this is the ones that allow to cultivate the axiological skills. The insight-based, that you can find also in MBCT program, for instance. And the last one, I forgot, évidemment. Well, I will tell you later. Purpose, insight, awareness. Bon, it's okay. And typically, mindfulness is considered as being a set of awareness-based meditation. And in the program, I include not only mindfulness practice, but also the other 3 kinds of types of meditations. That's why I prefer to call it meditation-based, because it includes its 4 types and not only mindfulness. And you will see that this short meditation is quite different from typical mindfulness practices. So the meditation involves repeating internally this sentence: I wish this session or this conference or this day or this meeting, or it can be declinated as you wish. So for instance, I wish this meeting to be beneficial for myself, human beings, and the non-human environment. In French, je souhaite que cette présentation soit bénéfique pour moi, autrui et l'environnement non humain. So we train our mind to include the whole of what exists in our intention to wish well-being and good things for this all. So I will ring the bell, and then you can repeat, if you wish, internally this sentence with trying to associate the corresponding intention. So it will be quite short, just stabilizing your attention on the sentence that is repeated internally with the corresponding intention. Is it clear for you? What's okay? Okay. Ah. Sorry, my electronic bell, which I checked just before, doesn't work. Maybe it's because I'm connected to my headphone. So I will improvise one.
We can do it. The rings
Okay.
are ready.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to share or question?
Yeah, maybe it looks, normally I'm more a practitioner of, of the Dharma, and there are the merits, that you share in the end. I mean, just, may this practice support, peace. And so it looks very similar to what I'm used in a different context than MVP. So yeah.
Yeah, I inspired it from this.
Yeah, context.
But it's the form is secular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it does not refer to any cult or spiritual figure. It's just wishing the good.
Mm. Yeah, very, very nice. Thank you.
And some we have documented in our research. One research we will try to publish soon, that it helps the practitioners to let go. For instance, one participant said this was the almost only practice that she managed to practice at home. And she had some issues at work with the conflicts. And before going to work, she was trying to focus her intention on this wish, and she included most particularly the person with who she was in conflict. And she reported that thanks to this, she had less expectations in any sense of the term. I mean, positive or negative expectations, and she was more able to let go and to accept what she lived at work, and she was more detached from these tensions. So it helped her to bring some well-being at work, to train to wish good things to the all, even to the person with who she was in conflict with. So this is what kind of things we train to, is to wish that the best occurs, the best for myself, others, and the non-human environment, without postulating in advance what this best is. Because our mental or projections or dual functioning, what some people call the ego, they tend to project things, to anticipate, to fear things. And this is with this kind of practice, we develop these attitudes of letting go and simply wishing the best for everyone and everything. So one of the core principles that is worked out here is responsibility. So the principle is to assume the consequences of our actions on ourselves, others, and the environment. So here I will summarize the principle of the whole approach. It implies understanding how our mind works. So we do this with exercises, which are not meditations, also some scientific knowledge. We try to observe and see our mind and our actions in situ in our daily lives. We learn, we train to direct our intention towards these harmonizing values. And we try to test new ways of functioning which are coherent with these harmonizing values. So here I can give you, if you wish, another example of practice, which is a meditation to transcend judgments. So as in the first one, you will see that we will provoke intentionally and consciously provoke some forms in the mind, and then try to accept them. So it is a guided meditation with several steps, and as any other proposal, you are free to do it and engage and disengage whenever you feel like doing it. So Teresa, when you want, you can ring the bell, please. To start, we can simply try to stabilize our attention on our breath. Simply reminding we are here and now, and our body is breathing. Now we can let our mind think about someone that we like and that we judge a little bit negatively. Someone that we like and that we judge a little bit negatively. And we try to stabilize our attention on the image, the think, the thoughts about this person. And to feel the impression we perceive from this person. And we will let our mind formulate these negative judgments we have towards this person in the following form. I don't like his or her. For instance, I don't like the way she laughs. I don't like her manner to want to have the last word in the conversation. We try to be specific, but we try not to sort, not to control, just let our mind create these judgments we feel, we think about this person without comment, just accepting what is formulated in our minds. And then we rephrase the same judgments, but towards ourselves. For instance, I don't like the way I laugh. I don't like my manner of wanting to always have the last word in a conversation. Without inner comments, without um, um, judging the judgment, just rephrase internally and listening, feeling how it resonates in us, at it feels to internally hear that, sorry. Then we focus again our attention toward the person and we try to unconditionally accept that this person the way she is or he is, with the consciousness that she is welcome on earth. She has the right to exist the way she is, and we can love her without any condition on her being, even if maybe there are some conditions on her behavior. Can we welcome this person profoundly, accepting that she does her best with what she lived, what she went through, with her experience? We can feel grateful for her qualities. We can feel joy to know her or he. We can feel joy for her successes. Now um, we can look backwards to our own life from the time we were a baby, then a child, then a teenager, an adult, until now, with all the experiences, the people we met, the mistake we made, and we try to put the same look on this person we have been, or during this journey. Can we accept unconditionally the person we have been and we are? Maybe if we only conditionally accept some of our own behaviors. we can rely on the consciousness that we are welcome on Earth. We have the right to exist as we exist. We have the right to feel what we feel. We can feel gratitude for our qualities and feel joy for our successes. And we can conclude by wishing that this state of mind of unconditional acceptance of the being and conditional acceptance of behaviors grows in our mind. Thank you very much, Teresa, for the gong. So, do you have some feedbacks you want to share? Some questions? Anything? Please profit. We are on a small number tonight. No one? Yeah, please, Gilberte.
Yes, in this program, how many practices do you have during these 25 hours? Is it also exercise? But I understood that you have exercises, but also meditations. And do you have also do the people have some time together to share or to make some exercise?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Each session is followed by exchange
Okay.
between the participants and with me.
Do they write also for some exercises with journaling or writing or?
Yes, yes, that's a very good question. In fact, I didn't precise it, but it's part of the program. I ask them to take a journal and there are some comment dire, consignes, je sais pas, some
Rules?
directions.
Rules.
Rules with directions to use this notebook. So the idea is to write down what they learn, what they question, what they feel about their evolutions, what are their purposes. There are some exercises I give them to do at home, like self-stress observation questionnaire, self how to how does their value play in their daily lives, things like this. I like observation exercise, but also they are invited to take notes in it about the practice, about the teaching, about anything they want, and because it's it's a way with which they can develop their reflexivity. Voilà, so yes, it's totally included and formally included in the program. Okay, I meant in fact more like feedbacks about the practice, but that's okay, that's fine too. Because as far as I'm concerned, I took a very close person to make the exercise, and I felt a lot of quite a lot of strong emotions during the practice. It's not always like this because I did it many times, but this time it was particularly comment dire, strong emotionally for me, and now I feel like very much more connected to this person. I feel I want to see her just just now. Voilà, that's my personal sharing. If you want to share, you can, but it's not as you wish.
My personal experience was that I was a bit sleepy, so it was difficult to come back and to again to focalize on the person and to come back. It was a bit difficult for me today.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
May I?
Yeah, please.
It was interesting for me to come to this point about my own judgment and just be with it. And just accept I'm judging and see how there is always something in it, some sort of my values. So that's why I'm judging this behavior or whatever. But here I always come to the point with the discernment. I love this English word, discernment. If I'm judging, there is a point of decision. Shall I then act because of this judgment, or shall I just be aware that I'm judging and think if this is something that might not be judged? You know, it is always the question of values and of action.
Okay. Comment dire? I'm not sure I really understood what you said.
What I said, if I judge, let's say, some behavior, then it's for me a point where I have to decide, is this judgment the base for some action, or is this just a point where I am becoming aware of my judgment and decide to let it go? because it is none of my business. So people have right to be different. It is always sort of reflection here. What to do when I judge? It is not always give up judging. Sometimes I'm okay to judge and say, let's say, it's not okay.
To me, there is a difference between judging a behavior and judging a person. I will explain this. So this exercise this meditation was to work on the non-duality between myself and the other, because judgment towards another person always tells something about my own subjectivity. It be about my values, it be about my own behaviors. So it tells something about me. And the matter is that what I call judgment is when there is a kind of implicit belief underneath, which is of the kind of this person has not the right to exist the way she exists. There is something wrong, I judge. So the judgment is in French, jugement is the judge who lies. Le juge qui ment. Jugement. So there is a kind of judgment, like I look to the other person from the up. I look down to the other person like, this is bad. And it's more like being like this than behaving like this. This is a kind of attitude behind what I call a judgment. So what we try to learn with this exercise, but also others, is to distinguish between the person and their behaviors. Like,
yeah, I was talking about the behavior.
Yeah. That's why. So to me, there is a difference. Usually, the judgment. What I call a judgment is that in French, we say, on jette le bébé avec l'eau du bain. We throw away the person with her behaviors. So here the idea is to cultivate the unconditional acceptance of people, like welcoming them with their suffering, greatness, and shortcomings. And when we speak, it can be expressed like, you have the right to feel what you feel, but conditionally accept their behaviors. For instance, but you don't have the right to express it with violence, or I don't accept that you express these feelings in this way because I deserve, I need respect, or things like this. So to me, that's a difference between the person and the behaviors. And in an educative point of view, it might be good for yourself and for the other person to reframe their behaviors, but with the attitude that, okay, you exist, you have the right, that's okay, you feel things, but this way of behaving is not acceptable, so please don't do it. So I cannot, comment dire, I have no pre-framed answer to your questions, because maybe sometimes it's good to let the people do their own experience, and sometimes it's not good, because it's not good for me as well to let them do their experience that is detrimental to me, to myself. And I feel like when we find, this is a matter of responsibility as far as the ethical skill is concerned, that our responsibility is to share and to hold out loud our values when we feel that something is unfair, for instance, unfair to us or to what or who is vulnerable. Voilà, but sometimes it's just we are judgmental, but it's not really detrimental to someone or something. You see, there is no general rule. Just we try to learn to separate both things that are commonly mixed. I don't know if I'm clear, but that's the idea behind this cultivation of non-duality and unconditional acceptance of the being.
What was interesting for me when you are doing in a meditation, it is not just a cognitive part. It is something you're going into it and try to discern. Is there something to let it go or to act? Because sometimes action is also ethical. But yeah, I do agree. It is always on the level of behavior and not on the level of the person.
Voilà, and it depends because some people, it helps them to have some feedbacks from the outside and to know that some people negatively judge their behaviors, but some others, they need to learn by themselves and do their own experience. So if no one is or nothing is immediately harmed, it depends. Voilà, that's what I think. Thank you very much for this sharing. I will move on because I see the time that runs a little bit. So this was a glimpse on the program and of I can just specify that the fourth type of meditation that I forgot was connection-based meditation. And you see that this meditation was included some awareness-based, insight-based, connection-based, and purpose-based meditation. So in this one, you can find the 4 types of meditations that are characterized, all united in one sequenced practice. So just to finish with my presentation, I wanted to share that we have published in a scientific journal a first impact study of this program, and we showed through a quasi-experimental design that this program enhances a sense of responsibility and different kinds of creative thinking. We also showed in another, in the same study, but we are currently submitting to a scientific journal, that it also have a significant, provoke a significant rise of empathy, emotional skills, connection to nature, well-being, and well-being. And the 2 others, I have already told this. So these effects are from middle to high range. And also there is a researcher who I don't know, I think he's from Australia, I'm not sure, who made a bibliographical review about ethic-based meditation programs, and he highlighted the MBER as an operationalized deep spectrum adaptation, based on the book I told you about. So it's a dual functioning, but when I saw this, I was very proud because he discovered this, and I hope it might spread some ethics in the world. So now I have 2 main ongoing projects that are linked to the dissemination of this program. I will start to teach it online in French from January, it's outside the university. And also something that might interest you maybe more, is that I am working on a project with Eugenio Coranti, who helped me on this project, to open a university diploma that will also be accessible partly long distance and partly with some concentrated retreat in presence, to train meditation instructors to teach the program. So if you might be interested, do not hesitate to contact me, because your participation can help to defend the project that is not accepted yet, not submitted yet to the university. Thank you very much for your attention. And please, if you have any other comments or questions, feel free to share them. I could add that so far I am the only one to teach it, because I didn't have the opportunity yet to train someone else to teach it. And also I hope that with this I would also improve the program, because it needs to be tasted with different kind of trainers who has different kind of expertises, and also in different kinds of contexts of teachings. So it's I mean, you might see this as an ongoing, evolving project. Thank you very much for your attention.
Well, thank you, Hélène. Actually, can you stop sharing, please, so we can share with go on with the human sharing? What you just said, by inviting us to participate and help you make your program even more effective, is one of the things that we foster in and nourish in Eyamba, helping each other, making sure that things advance and that we bring all our experience to this. Yes. And is there something concrete in which we could help you?
Yes, there is, I should find it. I made an online very short questionnaire to people who might be interested to be a student in this university diploma, so to learn how to teach the MBER program. And most particularly, I am now trying to open up this program in the Faculty of Medicine of my university. So I have to show that this can interest some medical professions. So if you are interested and not of a medical profession, you can still fill the online questionnaire. And if you know some physicians or nurse or profession, people with this kind of profession that might be interested to get inscribed in the diploma or to support the project, you can also share with them, and it will help me to show that this program, this diploma of university can interest medical profession as well, not only, but as well, so it can justify that we open it in a Faculty of Medicine.
Well, we are a small community here. You never know what comes from a small community, but we can also open it up. If you send that questionnaire to us, Teresa and me, at exchange@eyamba.net, we can post that on the same post where this event was announced, because we have quite a few people who are engaged in mindfulness and healthcare. And that is experienced people who are also teaching new teachers. So we might forward it specifically to them, but also in a general way, put it on the post. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I shared, so it's in French. The teaching for now should be in French. But voilà, my aim is that I'm done teaching in my own corner. I would like this to be spread. I mean, if I die tomorrow, it would be a shame that nobody has learned to taught it. It's not nobody else. I mean, I think it can help some people. I have got good feedbacks, and the research to date is quite encouraging, even if it's very scarce so far. So, I mean, it is meant to be spread as long as it can help people and the world. Voilà.
Do you have an English version? Because I have a few people in mind who would either speak English, Portuguese, or Spanish.
No,
And,
because it's not worthy that they fulfill the questionnaire if they are not fluent in French, because it means that they will not follow the university diploma. So there is no point with this. The diplomas for now will be taught in French.
okay. So you're not looking for colleagues who might have been here, who didn't make it, and who might be interested to forward that to their students.
No, it's not for the students. It's for experienced meditators. They could be already instructors or not, who are fluent in French and who would be potentially interested to follow this diploma university in which we will teach how to teach MBER program.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm clear, sorry.
And then what is the questionnaire about? Because obviously I didn't get that.
The questionnaire
excuse me
is
then, because I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
the questionnaire is to collect information about people who are interested in this diploma. So so they will give their name and they will explain their motivation. And if they are, for instance, physician, they will write, I am a physician. And at the end, there is a note. They can note from 1 to 5 their potential interest in following the diploma, so that with all this information gathered, I can go to my institution and show them, you see, there are some people interested for this diploma. So it's a good thing if you open the diploma. And among these people, there are some physicians and nurses. So it's a good thing that we open it in a faculty of medicine.
Okay. Yes. That's different from what I understood.
Okay. Sorry for that.
No, it's my fault. But we are here to help each other, aren't we?
It's communication, it's a shared fault usually.
I guess it's really a call for the French community, basically. Yeah. For
so far.
Yeah.
Well, we have representatives of ADM here, and you can share it with AFM, Hélène. So as long as the French community receives it, this is good.
And Fabienne, I see that you have given your email and that you are from Grenoble. So maybe you know my dear colleague Rebecca Shankland. No?
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I don't have good English, but yes, I know Rebecca.
Okay, I collaborate a lot with her. We co-supervise several PhDs together. We collaborate since many years for the research.
Okay. Yeah, I know Rebecca since 15 years.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have good English, so
I understand you so far.
Don't worry, we all speak broken English, but that gets us together, right?
oh, thanks.
And Fabienne,
But I can understand.
Did you wrote your email address for a specific purpose, or it is because you are on the...
Oh,
Or maybe I missed something.
so
Hélène, why don't you say it in French? Because we probably all understand French.
Ok. Non, Fabienne, pardon, je vous demandais si vous avez écrit votre adresse email dans un but spécifique ou...
non, j'ai vu les adresses mail. Du coup, comme j'étais pas au début de
Ah, d'accord.
je me suis dit, bon, peut-être Hélène a demandé à ce que, voilà, vous aviez demandé à ce qu'on partage les adresses. Donc, c'est pour ça que je l'ai fait.
Ah, d'accord. Ok, merci. Non, c'était juste parce que Nathalie et Gilberte sont de l'ADM et j'avais essayé de contacter l'ADM sans succès. Voilà,
D'accord.
c'était juste ça.
Bon, alors,
Mais
ce n'est
merci
pas...
quand même pour le partage.
So
Okay.
thank you very much. Very intimate, very interesting. Especially for me, the second exercise was very interesting because the first reminded me of loving kindness. The second also a bit, but then there was a twist in it. So, and there is a lot of research on the loving kindness meditation. So this is very much accepted. Thank you for this evening. Thank you for your sharing. Please stay in touch. When you continue and you have more research experience and more results, we might follow up and
Okay.
make it more widely known.
Okay, thank you very much again for this opportunity at this meeting. I am always very joyful and grateful to share about this approach.
And for all of you, if you have colleagues who missed this evening and would like to know about it, the recording will be on the Yambat YouTube channel within a few days, by the end of the week, not later than that. And you can direct them to there. And if you don't find it easily, just go to the post where we announce this event and you will find it also there. With this, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. And hope to see you soon. We have a very interesting event on the 21st of October with Fritz Koster, but also a few other colleagues who come with, yes, Natalie, with a humanitarian cause that they support. So this Fritz Koster will come because he wants to support Gaza. We will have Amit Bernstein from Moments of Refuge from Israel. We will have Marjan Abadi, who is an Iranian woman living in France and in Belgium, who will talk about the cause that she promotes on Iranian women. And we will have Andy Weisgard. He's with XR Buddhists, Extinction Rebellion, and they bring meditation to the streets and to places like the peaceful demonstration that also happened with Thich Nhat Hanh. And we are still collecting more colleagues to speak on that event on the 21st of January. And it is earlier. It's not at 7 p.m., it's at 6 p.m. And it will last for 1.5 hours. And if there are more colleagues speaking up, it will last for 2 hours. So you're warmly invited, and please share the information.
Thank you.
Thank you. And good night. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.